You know, when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've made that kind of money.
Obviously, it's a tragic incident. 2 people have lost their lives. It's a horrific...
Tonight, Nigerian police detained the driver of the vehicle involved in the Lagos highway smash in which 2 people were killed and boxer Anthony Joshua was in.
The boxing world was left utterly speechless when Anthony Joshua announced his retirement, sending shockwaves through the sport as fans and fighters alike struggled to process the reality that one of the era's biggest personalities and most gifted heavyweights was walking away. The disbelief was immediate, because Joshua's decision wasn't just about boxing anymore. It was about survival, mental health, and the lasting scars left by life-changing events outside the ring. For some, the unspoken truth surfaced quietly: maybe he doesn't want to be in boxing anymore. Dominic Engel echoed that sentiment, reminding the entire boxing world that life will always outweigh the sport. Joshua's retirement isn't simply stepping away from fights, belts, or bright lights. It's a brutal reality check shaped by loss, trauma, and surviving a devastating accident that rewired everything. Engel emphasized that fame, titles, and money lose all meaning when measured against human life, urging fans and fighters to pause, reflect, and appreciate what truly matters beyond the ropes.
Maybe he don't want to be in boxing anymore.
Duke McKenzie confirmed what many fans have quietly feared, that Anthony Joshua is likely preparing to officially step away from boxing. Drawing on his experience, wisdom, and deep understanding of his own body, this decision feels calculated rather than emotional or rushed. Joshua isn't acting on impulse, he's weighing consequences, showing that even champions must recognize the moment to protect themselves, their future, and everything that still lies ahead.
It's just a sport. Boxing sport is not more important than life. It's not. It's a sport. Put it in perspective. Who cares whether he carries on boxing? That's not the thing. You know, human lives have been lost. You can never, you can't get them back. It's priceless. You can't get it back. What does boxing matter? You know what I mean? It don't matter one bit. That's what I'm saying to you. It's like, but sometimes you get these reality checks in life.
Eddie Hearn laid bare the harsh physical reality behind Anthony Joshua's potential retirement, making it clear this isn't just a mental choice or an emotional reaction. It's about his body, his health, and the accumulated punishment absorbed over years of brutal battles inside the ring. With lingering injuries, constant niggles, and where that doesn't simply fade, Joshua's decision to step away reflects maturity, self-awareness, and rare foresight. Rather than chasing more titles or fleeting glory, he's choosing long-term well-being and life beyond boxing. Talent earns respect in the sport, Hearn stressed, but preserving life and health must always come first.
I'm sure of that. And he's not a silly man, he's not. And I would envisage over the next few months, he will announce his official...
Spencer Oliver perfectly captured why Anthony Joshua's retirement leaves such a heavy, unsettling void in the sport. It isn't just the raw knockout power or his undeniable ability to sell a fight that will be missed, it's the personality, the quiet charisma, and the relentless dedication he brought into every single bout. Joshua's influence stretched far beyond the ropes, shaping fans, inspiring fellow fighters, and carrying a presence that elevated every event he touched. His talent wasn't confined to punches and titles, it lived in the way he carried himself and the standard he set. With his absence, the boxing world is left confronting a stark reality. One of the sport's true characters is stepping away, and the silence left behind will be impossible to ignore.
Depends on his body. I mean, that, you know, I wasn't being facetious before, but like, you never know the landscape of this, but more likely he's thought this is a good time to bow out, or got a few niggles, and I don't think I...
Gareth Davies highlighted the devastating personal cost behind Anthony Joshua's decision, exposing a reality far deeper than wins, losses, or titles. Losing 2 close friends and trusted team members wasn't just an emotional shock, it tore through his mental and spiritual support system, the very foundation that kept him grounded. For AJ, retirement isn't simply stepping away from boxing lights and roaring crowds, it's hitting pause on a life that suddenly felt fragile. It's about recovery, healing, and slowly rebuilding after tragedy struck without mercy. Davies made it clear that moments like these reshape priorities, proving that life outside the ring can redirect even the path of the greatest fighters, forcing them to confront pain, loss, and the truth that no belt is worth sacrificing the pieces that make survival possible.
It's not just that he's a big personality and he sells fights so well and he's a big character, and the press conferences, the build-up to fights, and what he delivers in the ring. The guy is a serious talent, and he'll be missed when he's retired. That is
Eddie Hearn placed Anthony Joshua's retirement into sobering perspective, explaining that it's as much about mental health as it is about physical readiness. Years of relentless pressure, career-defining high-stakes fights, and the weight of recent traumatic events have created a toll that no title, paycheck, or applause can repair. Hearn stressed that these unseen battles slowly accumulate, wearing down even the strongest minds. Joshua's struggles expose a hard truth the sport often ignores: champions are still human. Stepping away isn't weakness, it's courage. It's a deliberate choice to protect well-being, to value peace over belts, health over money, and life over public expectation, even when the world demands more.
Anthony's, if he's got these guys with him as part of his team, they're close aides, close friends. He's going to have lost two very close friends, two members of his team who are part of his mental, psychological and spiritual scaffolding. He will have to recover from this in all those ways, as well as physically.
Carl Froch highlighted the growing debate surrounding Anthony Joshua's retirement, a decision now tearing opinion across the boxing world. Some argue it's a calculated financial or strategic move, a smart exit planned with precision, while others see something far deeper, a genuine step back shaped by trauma, grief, and irreversible loss. When weighed against AJ's horrific accident, the deaths of close friends, and the crushing mental toll that followed, stepping away suddenly feels less surprising and far more human. Froch pointed out that context matters, and this isn't happening in isolation or comfort. Whatever the true motivation may be, this retirement has sent shockwaves through boxing, leaving fans and analysts locked in debate, questioning whether this is a cold, calculated decision or a heartfelt farewell driven by pain, survival, and the realization that life beyond the ring now demands priority.
He's had all these mental health problems, struggles and stuff.
Johnny Nelson pulled the boxing world back to reality, forcing perspective into a sport obsessed with fights and fame. Anthony Joshua's retirement, he stressed, isn't about ducking opponents or losing hunger, it's about valuing life after staring tragedy in the face. Losing close friends and surviving a serious, life-threatening accident stripped away every illusion, compelling AJ and the entire sport to confront uncomfortable truths. Nelson emphasized that titles fade, rivalries dissolve, and money loses meaning when weighed against human life. This moment stands as a sobering wake-up call, a reminder that no ring victory, no roar of the crowd, and no championship belt is ever worth more than the fragile, irreplaceable value of life itself.
Retirement, I'm not sure if it's genuine. Maybe it is, but I don't know what he's going to do now he's retired. But the fact of the matter is, he's announced his retirement. He's either trying to leverage for more money, putting himself in position, so he's got people begging for him to come out, or he's actually genuinely going to retire. Not sure what he's going to do.
John Fury's words cut through the noise, underscoring the deep relief and quiet gratitude rippling across the boxing world. Anthony Joshua's survival after such a terrifying, life-threatening accident, he stressed, matters infinitely more than any fight, belt, or legacy ever could. Fury's message wasn't about hype or headlines, it was a stark celebration of life itself, reminding fans and fighters alike that health and safety must always outweigh competition and pride. In this moment, AJ is stripped of his champion armor and seen as human first, a man carrying the emotional weight of recent trauma and loss. Fury's reaction revealed just how heavy that toll has been, and why stepping away from the sport now doesn't look like surrender, but like wisdom. It framed Joshua's possible exit not as the end of a career, but as a necessary pause to protect what truly matters when everything else suddenly feels fragile.
It's just sad. It just makes you realise how valuable life is, and how things can change in a heartbeat. So when we talk about fights and we talk about beefs and these things are just nothing when it comes to real life and losing a life. So it was a sad thing to hear, a sad thing to see. God knows how it'll affect those that saw it mentally, emotionally. But you've got to think about these two men who were somebody's child, someone's brother, and that's what you've got to think about, those people that have lost their lives.
Pain Game exposed the brutal physical reality driving Anthony Joshua's retirement, stripping away any illusion of invincibility. Surviving a severe, life-altering accident leaves scars that don't simply fade, even for a fighter conditioned to absorb punishment for a living. The damage isn't confined to muscles and bones, it seeps into the mind, the nerves, and the emotions, reshaping how the body responds to risk and pain. AJ's recovery, they stressed, isn't just physical, it's mental and emotional, a slow battle fought away from cameras and crowds. Commentary like this forces fans to confront an uncomfortable truth: retirement isn't weakness or surrender. It's a necessary, calculated decision to preserve health, to protect a body already pushed to its limits, and to ensure survival beyond the ring. After a brush with mortality, stepping away becomes less about fear and more about choosing life, healing properly, and moving forward safely after an incident that permanently changed everything.
Jake, you're one lucky lad. God bless you, my lad. Glad you're alive again. Shocked me, it has. Terrible. Anyway, good luck everybody, and try and enjoy the new year as much as you.
Eddie Hearn's words cast a piercing light on the deeply human side of Anthony Joshua's life, far beyond the glitz, money, and fame the world associates with him. After enduring such a devastating accident, AJ's priorities can no longer revolve around titles, fights, or public acclaim. His focus must now shift entirely to recovery, support, and the well-being of those closest to him. Hearn underscores the critical responsibility of his team and family to ensure he receives proper medical care, emotional guidance, and the stability needed to heal. This situation goes far deeper than boxing. It's about protecting a man who has stared death in the face, lost close friends, and confronted vulnerability few can imagine. The tragedy exposes that even elite athletes are not invincible and serves as a stark reminder to fans that behind every fighter is a human navigating life-altering events. In this moment, AJ's priority is survival, healing, and rebuilding, not glory or wealth, demonstrating to the boxing world that no belt, paycheck, or spotlight can ever replace the safety, care, and love of family and trusted allies.
It's such a severe car accident there. Like, alright, he's lucky enough to still be alive, but fuck me, his body must be going through a lot right there. This is not a man who winces in pain easily, right? He gets punched for a living. And obviously, like, you're supposed to take people out of car accidents like that with great care because you don't want to.
Gareth A. Davies offered sharp insight into Anthony Joshua's mindset, shedding light on the calculated reasoning behind his recent fights and the controversy that surrounds them. His commentary stressed that AJ's decisions are deliberate, even under relentless external pressure and intense public scrutiny. The Jake Paul fight, heavily debated and labeled reckless by some, illustrated the extreme physical risks at this level, Paul's jaw injury serving as a stark reminder of the danger inherent in the sport. Despite the chaos, criticism, and swirling opinions, Joshua maintained composure, professionalism, and class, traveling abroad to meet obligations while always prioritizing safety and long-term career strategy. This moment captures the duality of AJ as both a global star and a human being, constantly balancing public perception, personal health, and responsibility to his team. Davies' observations serve as a powerful reminder that behind every headline, every fight, and every spectacle, fighters navigate calculated risks, mental strain, and unrelenting public expectation with remarkable discipline, foresight, and courage.
Really be there for them and the family, anything they need. You know, sometimes when someone is a star, they have a lot of things in their life taken care of for them. So you really have to move into that mode in this situation as well. Make sure obviously they're getting the best medical attention, make sure their family are safe and happy and as happy.
Alexander Usyk's reaction highlights the profound personal tragedy behind Anthony Joshua's public persona, showing that the impact of losing two close friends and team members in the accident reaches far beyond the physical. The emotional blow strikes deep, affecting Joshua's mental and spiritual well-being as much as his body. Usyk's heartfelt condolences reflect the solidarity within the boxing community and underscore the critical importance of support during life-altering events. This moment serves as a stark reminder to fans that even champions are not immune to personal loss, and that AJ's journey forward will demand extraordinary strength, healing, and resilience beyond the ring. The focus now rests on recovery, remembrance, and honoring those whose lives were tragically cut short, reinforcing in no uncertain terms that life, and the bonds we hold, always outweigh the sport of boxing.
In fact, some very interesting and germane points you make there in this moment, Raheem. That I think what I've noticed, that obviously there were a kind of panoply of opinions about him fighting Jake Paul, to take it back a week and a half. I mean, I was critical of that fight being signed, first of all, because I worried about the dangers for Jake Paul. He got his jaw broken at the end of the day, and kind of used the scars as a flag in his new moon delusionally optimistic, in his words, as he is about these things. So Anthony Joshua went to America a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, played the role which he needed to play, was very classy.
Ryan Garcia's reaction captures the shockwaves that AJ's accident sent rippling through the entire boxing community. As a fellow fighter, Garcia intimately understands how fragile life can be and the devastating physical toll that such accidents can impose on even the strongest champions. Joshua's near-fatal experience, coupled with the tragic loss of close friends, underscores the delicate and often perilous balance between life and sport. Garcia's response serves as a powerful reminder that behind every headline, every victory, and every public persona, there are humans exposed to tragedy and vulnerability. This moment unites fighters and fans alike, blending concern, admiration, and hope for AJ's full recovery, and showing that empathy, support, and respect extend far beyond the competition inside the ring.
Alexander Usyk said, "This is an unbelievable loss. Sina and Latif are two incredible people who are not only part of AJ's team, but also friends. My sincere condolences to their families, loved ones, and everyone who knew them. Anthony Joshua, wishing you a speedy recovery. Stay strong."
Showbiz the adult carefully dissected the accident with measured caution, emphasizing the uncertainty surrounding the crash while underscoring the gravity of the situation. Anthony Joshua's SUV colliding with a stationary truck wasn't just a headline, it was a life-altering event, shifting the focus from sport to survival in an instant. The call for prayers reflects the deep concern reverberating across the boxing community and beyond, as fans, fighters, and colleagues grapple with the stark reality of AJ's trauma. The incident inflicted not only physical injury but profound emotional pain, compounded by the tragic loss of two close friends. Beyond titles, belts, or public acclaim, this moment stands as a stark reminder that life is fragile and even champions are human. In its aftermath, recovery, support, and mental resilience become paramount, as the world collectively watches, united in hope that AJ heals fully, honors the memory of his lost friends, and ultimately finds peace and purpose beyond the ring. Anthony Joshua's retirement and the shocking accident have sent shockwaves through the boxing world, a stark reminder that even the strongest athletes are not immune to unimaginable challenges. From enduring a grueling physical recovery to confronting the emotional devastation of losing close friends, AJ's journey has shifted far beyond titles, belts, and fights. It's now about healing, resilience, and truly appreciating the fragility of life.
Joshua's SUV struck the stationary truck. So I just want to give you guys the breaking news. Unfortunately, Anthony Joshua was involved in a car accident in Nigeria. Prayers to Anthony AJ Joshua.
Fans, fighters, and the wider boxing community are watching intently, offering support, prayers, and solidarity as he navigates this life-altering chapter. The question on everyone's mind remains, what will Joshua's next move be? Will he ever step back into the ring? Or is this the definitive end of an era in heavyweight boxing? Share your thoughts in the comments below and honor AJ's legacy by spreading this story, reminding the world that even champions face battles far beyond the spotlight.